This is KVUE News Daybreak.
Speculation this morning about that massive cyber attack. The country, officials believe, is behind it.
And thousands of people will soon be out of a job. Ford letting a large amount of their employees go when the company is making the cuts and the reason why.
And a new survey set to be released today shows a change people in Austin want to see for the Austin Police Department. Hear about those changes coming up.
Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us for KVUE News Daybreak. It is just right at 6 a.m. I'm Brian Mays.
And I'm Yvonne Nava. You seem surprised.
I know. I looked down and
it's 6.
I know.
Yeah,
My eyesight's not. When you get old like me, Yvonne, your eyes,
come on.
the first thing to go.
Don't use the word
go.
old. We're only a couple of years apart.
I'm
right behind you, buddy.
I'm way ahead in dog years. I promise you that. We got all the gang here today. Anna V's keeping her eyes on the streets, and Erica's keeping her eyes on the skies. Rain coming, but not yet today, right, Erica?
Yeah, Brian, that's
I think that's you over there, right, Erica?
That's why Anna Veen and I have these responsibilities. If we're keeping an eye on them, probably wouldn't be the best.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
Here's a live look outside. Temperatures right now in the lower 70s. 66 degrees is your current dew point, so it is muggy out there this morning, slightly muggier than yesterday. Now, the change in our forecast today will be the wind speeds. They'll be a little bit stronger than yesterday. As for now, pretty calm, pretty moderate, anywhere from 5 to 15 miles an hour in some spots, definitely down south in the hill country. But this afternoon, we're talking sustained winds anywhere from 10 to 20 miles an hour, so breezy at times, maybe gusty. Temperatures for this afternoon, 89 degrees is your forecasted high. We won't be as warm as yesterday, a couple degrees cooler than yesterday because of all the clouds that will be out there. But keep in mind, humidity levels will still be high. And then we're chatting rain shower chances in the forecast by tomorrow. I'll give you the details on that in the full forecast. Anna Veen, how do the roads look like this morning?
Well, for the most part, they're looking pretty great. There's only one crash we are monitoring this hour at 6 a.m. There's a crash here on 6th Street at I-35 on the service road traveling northbound. So if you're coming in from the Buda area or South Austin, this might affect you. It has now moved to a near parking lot. It was blocking earlier, but not anymore. So good news there. Let's go ahead and travel southeast of town. There will be a closure in effect from now through Wednesday. It would affect the north and southbound lanes here of FM 973 at 71. So those are two things to watch out for. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you so much. New this morning, more residents here in Austin believe the city needs more police officers. This is according to a survey that shows people here in Austin think that this increase could help alleviate some of the city's main crime issues. KVUE's Jay Wallace joins us live in the newsroom to explain more specifically what this survey is telling us. Jay.
Yeah, that's right, Yvonne. This new survey set to be released today by the Greater Austin Crime Commission. It is consistent across all 10 city council districts, as survey participants were picked from registered voters. Now look at this. According to the survey of nearly 2,000 residents, about 75% said they think more officers would help improve the Austin Police Department's response. About 84% said they think the city should add more officers immediately or in the next 3 to 4 years. Studies done by city experts show Austin has a shortage of at least 100 officers compared to other cities this size. City council members in the past couple of years have not added any new officers to the force and have instead prioritized other projects. David Roche, president of the Greater Austin Crime Commission, says, quote, "The experts have spoken and now the people of Austin have spoken too. We need more officers to prevent crime in our neighborhoods. We cannot fall behind on public safety as we have with traffic and affordable housing in Austin. We are alarmed." Austin residents from this survey also say they think this increase in police officers would help community and police engagement and start to alleviate issues such as the city's K2 problem downtown. Live in the newsroom, Jay Wallace, KVUE News.
Jay, thank you. This morning, the White House is battling allegations against President Donald Trump. The Washington Post reporting that our nation's leader shared classified information with top Russian government officials. Now, it was allegedly related to an Islamic State terrorist threat and laptop computers, and the news concerning the leaders on both sides of the aisle. ABC's Janae Norman explains how the Trump administration is reacting to the controversial accusations.
The bombshell allegations rocking the West Wing.
I was in the room. It didn't happen.
National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster denying the Washington Post report that President Trump shared highly classified information during this meeting with Russia's foreign minister and U.S. ambassador in the Oval Office.
The story that came out tonight, as reported, is false. the President and the Foreign Minister reviewed a range of common threats to our two countries, including threats to civil aviation. At no time were intelligence sources or methods discussed.
According to the Post, the classified information about an ISIS plot in Syria was given to the U.S. by a partner and is so sensitive that not even other allies have access to it. That Oval Office meeting was already under scrutiny. It came just a day after the president suddenly fired FBI Director James Comey and less than a month after Trump described U.S.-Russia relations at an all-time low. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, who was also in the room, saying they did not discuss sources, methods, or military operations. But no one at the White House specifically addressing the main allegation in the story, that President Trump revealed classified information and in doing so may have jeopardized critical intelligence sharing operations.
That's really shocking. The suggestion that he might have shared highly classified information inappropriately with the Russian foreign minister is deeply troubling.
The story sounding alarms for lawmakers on both sides of the aisle.
If it's accurate, it'd be troubling.
As president, Trump has the power to declassify information, but still the leading Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee is now asking intelligence leaders and the administration to brief the committee on what was shared during that meeting. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Now, just within the last 2 minutes, the president tweeting, "As president, I wanted to share with Russia at an openly scheduled White House meeting, which I have the absolute right to do. Facts pertaining ... So expecting more to come. We'll have to bring that to you as the president releases that today. Now, while it is legal for him to declassify information, we wanted to know if it's legal for him to share classified information with those who don't have security clearance. Here's what we learned. It is legal. Analysts say American presidents have broad authority to disclose classified information, making them virtually immune from prosecution. However, every other government employee with a clearance could face criminal charges for disclosing classified information without prior permission.
6:07, just about new information this daybreak on the massive cyber attack that affected thousands of computers around the world. Investigators say North Korea may be behind the global crisis. Cybersecurity researchers say coding behind the virus is similar to the code used by North Korea in an attack on international banks last year. Hackers used a phishing scam to lock people out of their computers and collect a ransom. The massive cyber attack hit thousands of computers at banks, hospitals, and government institutions over the weekend.
Right now, police in Fredericksburg are asking for your help to find a missing elderly man. Police have issued a silver alert for 75-year-old Thomas Vidal. He was last seen around 7 p.m. last night walking around at the TriStar Care Center. Officials say he's been diagnosed with a cognitive impairment, poses a threat to his own health and safety. Last seen wearing a black vest and blue jeans, also uses a walker. Call police if you have any information.
Austin's affordable housing program is taking a huge hit this morning, and it's impacting hundreds of families in the area. Nearly 1,100 people are currently on the waiting list for a Housing Choice voucher, which helps pay rent for low-income families. About 150 of these vouchers will go out this year, but that's 300 fewer than last year. This is because the list has been closed for more than 2 years due to a backlog. The last time the Housing Authority opened the waiting list was back in 2014. The Housing Department took in 19,000 applications, but only processed 2,500.
It really depends on how many families we can house on any given year, and so I really see that we probably won't be opening the wait list in, at least a few years to come.
Well, to qualify for assistance, families must make 50% below the median area income. That is a little under $40,000 for a family of 4.
There's a legal battle brewing between supporters and opponents of the controversial Senate Bill 4, which will ban sanctuary cities. Today, officials from across the state will head to the state capitol to discuss a lawsuit that Attorney General Ken Paxton has filed. Paxton says the lawsuit will help prevent opponents from filing multiple lawsuits. Named in the suit, the City of Austin, Austin City Council member Greg Casar, and Austin Mayor Steve Adler. Senate Bill 4 will require all law enforcement to honor ICE detainers. Governor Greg Abbott signed Senate Bill 4 into law last Sunday, and it is set to go into effect on September the 1st.
Ford is putting a lot of workers on edge this morning. The automaker will be making job cuts this week. Ford made the announcement on Monday. According to the Wall Street Journal, 10% of its global workforce will get the axe because of declining sales in the U.S. This is the first time that sales have plummeted in 7 years. The company says the cuts will mostly affect salaried employees as they try to reduce costs and turn profits around. And parents, listen up here. You may have moldy baby wipes. Yuck. Well, the Honest Company, that's its actual name, says it's possible some of its wipes may have the same kind of mold found on citrus plants. The company has issued a voluntary recall. To see if your wipes are included, we have the full list on our website, KVUE.com. Just click in the news link section. Again, those are Honest wipes from the Honest Company. Now let's take a look at our forecast with Erica.
Good morning. A quiet start for us here in Central Texas. What we do have is a lot of clouds, a lot of humidity, not tracking rain shower chances until tomorrow morning. So as of now, again, we're peaceful, still under the influence of high pressure. North of us, there's a couple of systems that's bringing in some strong storms. They've had severe weather threats overnight for the high plains and the upper Midwest. Check out the Pacific Northwest. Snow, that's right, along the Cascades. Lots of fresh powder out there, keeping their ski season on the healthy side. So you can see the sun rising if you look at the top right corner of your screen, but a lot of clouds out there still keeping us on the dark and dreary side. Even though the sun is rising, current temperatures are in the 70s, dew points in the 60s. So you're going to really feel the humidity out there as you head out the door. Here's how your Tuesday is going to play out. Partly sunny afternoon, so we should have more clouds than sun this afternoon, but still some peaks of sunshine. Your highs in the upper 80s, a couple degrees cooler than yesterday. But again, I'm talking rain shower chances that will arrive by tomorrow morning. They could affect your morning commute, so I'll give you all the details in the full forecast. Guys, back to you.
All right, sounds like a plan. Well, still ahead this morning, snakes on a stage.
Not on a plane, on a stage. How a Texas student was able to sneak his reptile past graduation security and what he's saying about it.
It's a fashion statement.
It is.
And the local police officer who tried to fake his own death is heading to court. Why prosecutors may have a hard time getting him convicted.
Plus, an update on the beloved East Austin mural, why officials say they painted over it, and how they want you to help them replace it. Welcome back. Officials urging you to talk to your children after watching this video. Transit officials in Houston releasing the video earlier this week. You can see the kid there running across the track while a train is on the way. Then another kid tries to get across, almost hit by the train. He is okay, but authorities are using the incident to urge parents to talk. Look at this. Talk to their children about staying off of those rail lines.
That is too close. Well, an update now on the mural that was painted over in East Austin last week. Officials say that it will be replaced. The East 12th Street Merchants Association says the wall needs repair, so that's why they painted over the artwork. The group says another mural will be painted on the building, but they need your help with ideas and artist recommendations. The original mural had been on the building for 3 years and was painted by a Houston artist. The Merchants Association plans to hold an event for the community to pick a design for the new mural next week. That mural will be painted by an Austin artist. You can submit your ideas in an email. The address is on your screen. Be sure to use the subject line mural art. I think it should be Brian's big old mug.
Yeah. Nothing says Austin like this ugly face. I can tell you that right now. It was an unusual sight at TCU's graduation on Saturday. A snake wrapped around a graduate's arm. That's right, Denzel Young. Actually, I think this was at the University of Houston, wasn't it? No, Texas Southern, excuse me, Texas Southern University. Denzel Young brought his 3-year-old python named Persia with him to graduation. Young says everyone knew him on campus as the guy who always had his snake around. So it was only fitting that his reptile attended graduation with him, too.
I did have my ups and downs, with school and just a school period. Just having her around just makes me feel, the positively. I told everybody, hey, it's my graduation, so I'm going to do what I want to do. So I'm going to bring it, and that's what I ended up doing.
Again, at TSU, Texas Southern University, the university says only service animals were allowed at graduation. They assumed he must have just snuck it under his gown. Young says he wasn't trying to hide it. He just had it on his wrist there, right up his sleeve. Some students say his actions were inappropriate.
I thought he was going to bust out in the Britney Spears dance. You know, when she had the big old, when he goes across the stage. That would have been kind of cool, right?
That would have been kind of cool.
Would have been quite like Britney Spears.
Not quite.
Not with the midriff showing.
Yeah, would have been a little.
Who knows? We don't know his dance moves.
Yeah, maybe they're just as good.
Could have been.
All right. Well, hey, the weather is going to be just as good as yesterday. A little bit of cloud coverage, so at least temperatures won't be as warm. Yesterday we topped out in the lower 90s, 92 reported in at Camp Mabry. Today our highs reported at 89 degrees, so we should stay in the 80s. Check out the weather that's going on just to the north of us. We've been battling severe weather as of now. Any warnings or watches have now expired for the high plains and the upper Midwest, but they are quite busy, needless to say. And also want to point out, winter weather advisories are in effect right now all along the Cascades from northern Washington to southern Oregon. Fresh snow out there. Maybe making any ski plans the next couple of weeks. They're going to have plenty of snow out there. Here's a look at what we're seeing. Excuse me, I obviously can't talk right now. For Texas, the southeast flow is continuing to dominate us here. In central Texas, that's increasing cloud coverage, increasing humidity. Check out just how gloomy it is outside as the sun is rising. A mostly cloudy start to our day. Temperatures right now in the lower 70s. Dew points upper 60s. So as you head out the door, don't be alarmed. It's not going to feel nice. Lots of humidity out there. It'll be a little bit sticky. That's going to be the case all day long, as a matter of fact. Something that may help you out with the stickiness factor will be the south winds coming in from anywhere from 10 to 20 miles an hour. So it could be breezy or gusty at times. Hopefully that gives you some relief from the humidity. Our highs in the upper 80s. Under 90 degrees is our forecasted high, though. At least that's some good news. Let's talk about rain chances. So high pressure has been keeping us quiet. That's exiting out of our region. What's heading our way is this area of low pressure. Slowly going to make its way further to the east as it does. 30% chance of rain shower activity. This is early Wednesday morning. I think the hill country and also our central counties will have the best chance of seeing that early morning, maybe your morning commute rain shower chances. By Thursday, still at 30%, but Thursday, some of these showers could be strong at times, as this is a secondary area of low pressure that will be impacting us. For this weekend, a 40% chance. This weekend we'll have the best chance of rain Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So a busy next several days is headed our way. Mold in the high category, medium for grass. Keep up to date every single day in the statesman. Here's the next 7 days. We're tracking quiet today, but boy, am I going to earn my money the next few days as we continue to stay busy. Turning things over to Anna Vidreyes. She has the latest on traffic.
Well, the lanes don't look as bad as the forecast. That's for sure. This is Mopac northbound and southbound lanes at 35th Street. You can see traffic is moving quite nicely in this area. No major incidents to report on, and that's the same story for most of the Austin metro area. No major incidents, but let's go ahead southeast of town. This is a closure I do want to let you know about. Northbound and southbound lanes at FM 973 at 71 State Highway 71 will be closed today through Wednesday. Again, nighttime closures only. Guys, back to you.
Anna, thank you. Delta Airlines testing a new self-service system that can change the way you claim your luggage.
All right, it's a kiosk that scans your face to help you with your baggage check. ABC's Diane Macedo and Candace Gibson shows us how it works and which airport will be testing it out first.
In today's Tech Bite, speeding up the airport check-in process.
Delta Airlines will soon test a self-service baggage drop. It uses facial recognition to verify identity instead of an agent.
It'll compare your face with your passport photo. The airline will test it out this summer in Minneapolis.
Meanwhile, Lowe's is trying out a new exoskeleton.
Yeah, so the company says it helps employees lift and move heavy objects more easily. They're trying it out at a store in Virginia for now. No word on when it might be used more widely.
Pretty cool. And we have some new numbers this morning showing the average starting salary for college graduates is almost $50,000.
Wow. Who are these people? Well, apparently, a lot of the top salaries are tech-related. Software developers, $65,000 a year. Engineers, $63,000. Scientists and researchers, over $58,000.
What was your starting salary?
That's not my ending salary.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a good one.
Time to take a look at your school bell forecast for this morning. It's going to be a cloudy start to the day. We will continue to see lots of clouds this afternoon. Also, partly sunny. So we'll have more clouds than sun, but still some peaks of sunshine. The good news is that the clouds will help keep our temperatures under 90 degrees. 89 is your forecasted high. Here's your UV index forecast for today. It's still high at 7, so you still need to stay safe and protect yourself from the sun. But I think the clouds are helping us at least stay away from the very high category this afternoon. Guys, back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Erica. 6:26 is your time. And Bill Cosby claims racism could have played a factor in the sexual assault allegations he's battling. Cosby is accused of drugging and assaulting a woman at his home 13 years ago. He's pleading not guilty to those charges. In his first interview in more than 2 years, Cosby told Sirius XM radio host Michael Smerconish that his race could be behind the accusations. He listened to his daughter's interview, and she initially brought up race as an issue in the scandal.
Strongly believe my father is innocent of the crimes alleged against him, and I believe that racism has played a big role in all aspects of this scandal.
Do you agree with that?
Could be. Could be. There are so many tentacles, so many different, nefarious is a great word.
Cosby is set to go on trial next month. He also denies similar assault claims from dozens of other women. Well, coming up, a jaw-dropping new report claims to have proof of the president giving Russia classified information. What's in the report and how President Trump is responding. And the death of
a high schooler from last month now is believed to be caused from caffeine. Hear the emotional cry for change from the young man's father after the break.
This is KVUE News Daybreak.
Hi there, good morning, and welcome back, everyone. 6:30 is your time.
That's right. How about a live look here at Austin City Hall? JP's taking a step across the street now to give you a good view of the building. You know, it was built in 2004, the same year I got back to Austin. I think they built it in my honor, Yvonne.
I think so, too.
It's 4 stories. It was built from limestone, copper, and a lot of glass. You see that there. And they say it was built to characterize the informality of Austin.
Okay, what was the
very informal city?
What was
apparently.
the official name of it, though? Wasn't it the
City Hall?
No, I was talking about the piece of artwork.
Oh, the artwork. Oh, I don't remember. I'll have to look at my email.
I think was it the Twister?
Hang on, it's the. I
know it's City Hall.
I lost it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Sorry.
That's what happens when you're being smart.
And when you're old again.
Let's check it.
Memory's the next thing to go. First the eyes, then the mind.
Oh no! All right, see Anna meet Erica. See what you have to look forward to.
Yeah. All right, well, check out the view as you're heading out the door this morning. It is kind of ominous looking out there. Lots of clouds. Not much sun, even though the sun is rising. Lots of humidity also. Dew points right now in the mid to upper 60s. Check out your temperatures, lower 70s. A lot of folks didn't even cool down from the 70s because of all the clouds that we've had overnight. Something that we will be monitoring this morning will be the south wind. Pretty calm right now, anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour, but afternoon gusts could top out at 20 miles an hour. Could be breezy or gusty at times this Tuesday, but again, a partly sunny afternoon. Here's your south winds in the teens by this afternoon. Daytime highs, 89 degrees is your forecasted high for today. Your rush hour forecast, we're looking good. Shouldn't have any weather to affect your morning or evening commute, but I am tracking rain shower chances as early as tomorrow morning. I'll chat about that in the full forecast. Turning things over to Anna Vidre, she has the latest on traffic.
Good morning. It's now 6:32 and rush hour traffic is in full effect. This is a live look at Mopac northbound and southbound lanes. You can tell that the southbound lanes are a lot more busier. This is at 35th Street, so go ahead and drive safely if you're in that area. No major incidents to report on I-35 northbound Buda to downtown, 27 minutes. 23 minutes I-35 southbound Round Rock to downtown. Mopac southbound 45 to downtown, 15 minutes, and a 4-minute commute 2222 to Cesar Chavez. Guys, back to you.
Annavi, thank you very much. The White House denying an explosive Washington Post story this morning that claimed President Trump shared classified intelligence information during a meeting with members of the Russian government last week.
The story that came out tonight, as reported, is false. The president and the foreign minister reviewed a range of common threats to our two countries, including threats to civil aviation. At no time At no time were intelligence sources or methods discussed.
All right. According to the Post, the classified information was about an ISIS plot in Syria that came to the U.S. by a partner. The information so sensitive, not even allies have access to it. That Oval Office meeting took place a day after the president fired FBI Director James Comey. Now, the president up-tweeting this morning 2 tweets. This, the first, as president, I wanted to share with Russia at an openly scheduled White House meeting, which I have the absolute right to do, facts pertaining to terrorism and airline flight safety, humanitarian reasons, plus I want Russia to greatly step up their fight against ISIS and terrorism. So not an outright denial about sharing information. Now, of course, that information being shared, we don't know the classification level of that, but the president clearly saying that he did share information with the Russians.
Meanwhile, President Trump is hoping to name a new FBI director by the end of this week. Yesterday in the Oval Office, he was asked about his search to replace James Comey.
Thank you. Thank you. Very good. It's very good. Thank you, President. Moving rapidly.
It's apparently a crowded field. At least 8 candidates, including Texas Senator John Cornyn and former Congressman Mike Rogers, have already been interviewed.
Governor Greg Abbott could sign a bill today set to crack down on inappropriate relationships between teachers and students. The Senate gave final approval yesterday on the so-called Pass the Trash bill. The bill would aim to stop the practice of passing teachers who have inappropriate relationships with students from district to district. The measure creates a database to track them and adds criminal penalties for administrators who don't report teacher misconduct.
6:35, an Austin police officer accused of faking his own death is set to appear in court this week. But legal experts say prosecutors could face some challenges in the courtroom. Authorities say 29-year-old Coleman Martin staged a scene near the U.S.-Mexico border back in April to make it look like he had committed suicide. He was eventually captured in Dallas after flying in from Colombia. According to an arrest affidavit, Martin sent an email to a woman not identified in court documents saying he had staged the scene by parking his vehicle by a body of water near the border. Martin is now facing a misdemeanor charge of filing a false report, but legal experts say Martin didn't actually file the report himself, and this could lead to troubles in the courtroom. Prosecutors are reviewing the case and will soon decide what to do next.
Death by caffeine. A coroner says it was a combination of caffeinated drinks that killed a 16-year-old high school student from South Carolina. And now his dad is asking for change. KVUE's Jay Wallace in the newsroom this morning to explain how this could have happened. Jay?
Yeah, that's right, Brian. It's a very bizarre situation, but the Food and Drug Administration has said that caffeine in doses of up to 400 milligrams or about 5 cups of coffee is generally safe, as this caffeine prompts the release of natural compounds, including a stress hormone that can speed up the heart rate. The young man who died back in April reportedly had a large Mountain Dew, a cafe latte, and also a type of energy drink, causing his arrhythmia or an irregular heartbeat. The high schooler was Davis Allen Kripe, age 16, died last month, collapsing in a high school classroom in South Carolina. And the initial autopsy did not reveal cause of death until just this week. And while everything he consumed from was legal substances, time played a factor as he drank these 3 products in the span of 2 hours. And for the father, his message now goes out to other parents hoping to prevent others from going through the same tragedy.
I stand before you as a broken-hearted father and hope that something good can come from this. Parents, please talk to your kids about the dangers of these energy drinks.
Now, the 12-ounce Mountain Dew drink Davis had that day contains 54 milligrams of caffeine, while the cafe latte he reportedly got from McDonald's, it is unknown how much caffeine that drink contains. And while the makers of energy drinks defend their products as safe, the Mayo Clinic recommends you drink no more than 1 energy drink a day. And last month, researchers did report that energy drinks can cause dangerous changes to the heart and how it functions, as well as to blood pressure beyond caffeine alone. Live in the newsroom, Jay Wallace, KVUE News.
Well, this morning, a Houston area family is in a lot of trouble for allowing their toddler to ride in the front seat of a car in the driver's lap. Take a look here. A viewer of our sister station in Houston shot this video Saturday. DPS officials say anything could happen at this speed, including the child getting crushed by an airbag if it deploys. Kids are also supposed to be in car seats until the age of 8.
People take life for granted.
When do people take this stuff seriously?
Typically when there is a serious accident where the child is seriously injured or killed, they remember that for the rest of their days.
DPS says the family could face a Class C misdemeanor and a $250 fine for not having their child secured in a car seat. But DPS also doesn't recommend shooting video while you're driving. They would rather you just call 911.
Yeah, I was about to say, who shot the video? It looks like the driver shot the video, which is a no-no, too. Big health concern this morning. More than half of U.S. travelers who should get the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccines before going abroad are not getting the shots. A new study says this is putting many others at risk when they return home. The research published in the Annals of Internal Medicine say this is important because most measles outbreaks in the U.S. can be traced back to returning travelers who become infected while overseas. Time for a check of our forecast once again, and for that we toss it over to Erica Lopez. Hey, Erica.
Hey there, guys. Yeah, busy forecast indeed. We're talking rain shower chances beginning tomorrow morning. As for this morning, it's gloomy, it's cloudy, it's sticky out there. Lots of clouds as you're heading out the door. So current temperatures in the 70s. That was our overnight low. We had a few of us dip down into the upper 60s, but all the clouds and moisture has left us on the warm side overnight. Dew points in the mid 60s. So we're going to keep an eye on wind speeds today. Could be breezy or gusty at times. Anywhere from 10 to 20 mile an hour winds are expected this afternoon. For this morning, a light wind coming in from the southeast, anywhere from 5 to 15 miles an hour. Fredericksburg, kind of breezy out there, 12 miles an hour, but that wind's coming in from the southeast, so all that's going to do is increase our moisture content, keep the clouds in the region. Highs today, upper 80s. Your forecasted high, 89 degrees here in the Austin metro area. But again, I'm talking rain shower chances heading our way by tomorrow morning. We're entering into a very busy weather pattern for May. I'll break down the details in the full forecast. Guys, back to you.
Played and they'd ended up winning. I go get dinner, have a glass of wine, wake up the next day, go to practice, and move on. But this is crap. And because he's got this history, it can't just be, oh, it was inadvertent. He didn't have intent. Who gives a damn about what his intent was?
Coach Popovich not happy. That's the Spurs head coach sounding off yesterday about the injury to his star player, Kawhi Leonard, calling it a dirty play. He previously, Leonard, injured his ankle and was hurt again in Game 1 of the Western Conference Final Sunday. Golden State's Zaza Pachulia's foot got in the way of Leonard's landing spot. Spurs taking on the Warriors again tonight. That game's at 8 p.m. Leonard doubtful for tonight's game. His MRI showed, though, there was no structural damage to the ankle, which means he might come back later in the series. The Final Four in the NBA playoffs is now set. Boston outlasted Washington in Game 7 of their Eastern Conference Series last night. Celtics advanced to face Cleveland in the Eastern Conference Finals. They won over Washington 115-105. That means former Longhorn Avery Bradley will face another former Longhorn, Tristan Thompson, in the Eastern Conference Finals. It also means, get this, LaMarcus Aldridge of the Spurs and Kevin Durant of the Warriors, each of the 4 teams that are left will have a former Longhorn in the starting lineup.
Texas is churning out some pros.
1/5 of the starters in the NBA's Final Four played for the Longhorns.
Yeah.
None at the same time, which is weird. They're all very young.
So who do you think is going to be final? Do you think
Warriors and Cleveland?
Cleveland.
That's who I think is going to be.
A police officer recovering this morning after touching a substance, coming into contact with the substance.
I think that's what happened. The drug so dangerous it left him fighting for his life. That story straight ahead.
Absolute chaos to have 3 children, 4 if you include my husband, and also working full-time from home.
And there are more working moms than ever before in the labor force, but how do you know you're dividing enough attention to your kids and your job? In our series, Parental Pressure, how moms are balancing both and how the guilt, well, how they're letting go of it.
Welcome back. 6:45 now, and here are some of today's top stories. A legal battle brewing between supporters and opponents of the controversial Senate Bill 4, which bans sanctuary cities. Today, officials from across the state will head to the Capitol and discuss a lawsuit that Attorney General Ken Paxton has filed. SB 4 will require all law enforcement to honor ICE detainers. Governor Greg Abbott signed Senate Bill 4 into law back on Sunday. It is set to go into effect on September the 1st. Happening today, the Austin Independent School District wants to hear from parents about a potential bond proposal. They're considering asking taxpayers to foot the bill for up to $1.2 billion bond. The money would pay for building new schools or revamping aging schools. If approved, the measure could appear on the November ballot. For details on tonight's meeting, you can log on to our website, KVUE.com. Law enforcement across Central Texas will be conducting a traffic enforcement initiative today. The goal to increase public awareness of the dangers first responders face while working on the shoulders of our Texas highways. They hope the initiative encourages drivers to move over or slow down when approaching emergency vehicles to avoid scenes like this one caught on camera in Abilene earlier this year. Yvonne?
More children than ever before have mothers who are in the labor force. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, more than 50% of moms with young kids work, compared to about 1/3 in the 70s. Being a full-time working mother can lead to feelings of guilt and stress because of divided attention between work and family. Well, we talked to two moms to see how they find the right balance. That's in this morning's Parental Pressure. The alarm rings.
Hey, little nuggets.
And the family circus begins.
You don't have any syrup? Please get out of Sissy seat, Lincoln. You're not going to make it to Run Club if you don't eat. What book did we read last night?
Like most moms, Allison Mack of Lakeway has her hands full.
Absolute chaos to have 3 children, 4 if you include my husband, and also working full-time from home. It's definitely a huge balancing act.
The elusive and much talked about work-life balance. Is it honestly possible for women to have it all?
I think that topic comes up all the time with motherhood because we do feel stretched so thin and feel like we're, failing at everything.
I felt like I really had it under control, and then we had to potty train, and I was like, okay.
Kimberly Peña's daily routine involves dropping her son Thomas off at school.
Are you hamming it up back there?
And once that's done, Kimberly heads to her school to serve as an instructional coach to Buda teachers. Suffice to say, it's a lot to juggle.
I have a planner that is my to-do list.
And there's backup.
I get calendar updates, which helps because if I forget my planner, it's there.
She's also not afraid to ask for help. Kimberly's extended support system includes the Austin Moms blog, which Allison started up. It's an online resource for moms to give and get advice.
Put your clothes in the washing machine. Okay.
Allison and Kimberly are convinced there are 2 keys to making it all work. Prioritizing.
You can't do everything. You've got to pick and choose. Maybe it's going to the field trips or picking up your kids every day from school or tucking them in goodnight.
Good morning.
And allowing yourself to make mistakes.
I think you have to kind of have some grace with yourself and be able to say, I'm so sorry, I completely forgot that.
Oh, and there's one last bit of advice these moms have to offer. Let go of the mom guilt. Instead, take the time to remind yourself how your career is helping your family and others.
I feel like I give back to my community through it.
We're connecting moms to, other businesses and one another.
And of course, at the end of the day, we all know what's most important.
I tell him he is the only person in the world that has made my life better every single day of his life.
Coming up tomorrow morning in our Parental Pressure series, online parent shaming. Are you a victim? We're taking a look at how the online epidemic is affecting parents. And if you'd like to check our other parental pressure stories, just head to our website, KVUE.com. Now to Erica with a check of our forecast. Muggy day out there, Erica.
Yeah, it's quite sticky. Dew points continue to be one of the main focuses for the last couple of days and also today. Lots of clouds out there. Temperatures in the 70s right now, so the cloud coverage has really acted as a blanket overnight. It didn't allow us to dip under 70s for a lot of folks and keeping us quite muggy also. Dew points at 66 degrees right now. Here's how today is going to play out the next several days actually. So today we're expecting breezy conditions, sustained winds anywhere from 10 to 20 miles an hour. Lots of clouds out there. Then rain chances begin tomorrow morning. Now by Thursday, that same system is actually going to bring in strong storms that will be possible by Thursday, and then we're talking rain shower chances to end the work week and into the weekend. Today, hour by hour highs should stay under 90 degrees. You can thank all the clouds for that, but partly sunny days in store. Check out the winds this afternoon. Sustained winds again on the breezy to gusty side, up to 20 miles an hour at times. Lots of rain shower chances to speak about. So high pressure, which keeps us on the quiet side and has kept us nice and dry is now shifting east. What's heading our way is this area of low pressure that's developing across Southern California. That's going to slide to the north and the east. So we'll stay south of this system, but it still has enough energy to activate some showers. 30% chance for tomorrow. We're talking your morning commute with a decent amount of rain shower chances. Hill country has the best chance. Central counties, I would say secondary, and then the eastern counties a little bit less likely to see rain tomorrow morning. 30% chance of not only showers but a possible thunderstorm for Thursday as another area of low pressure heads our way. That's going to keep Thursday afternoon on the busier side. And then we're talking a 40% chance of rain shower activity with another disturbance Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, yes, rain shower chances every single day the next 6 days after we get through today. And again, some of those storms could be strong at times. Your allergy forecast, we're keeping mold in the high category. That's going to be a huge issue because of all the humidity and mugginess out there. Mold thrives in that kind of conditions. So your next 7 days, like I mentioned, quite busy out there. Stay with us here at KVUE for the forecast. Anavid has the latest on traffic this morning. Are things looking quite busy out there?
Yes, a couple of things to hit on this morning. There is a crash we're watching east of East Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard at Berkman Drive. This crash might slow you down if you're trying to grab MLK or I-35. Let's go ahead north of Austin. If you're trying to travel to Jarl, I-35 northbound at mile marker 268, the on-ramp is closed due to a concrete cargo on the road. So if you're trying to drive up there to Jarl, again, that on-ramp is closed. Guys, back to you.
Anavid, thanks. It's been a hard couple of weeks for the Edwards family in North Texas, dealing with the loss of Jordan, their son. A former Balk Springs police officer shot him as he left a house party with his brother 2 weeks ago. This week, Kobe Bryant reached out to the family. The Edwards family attorney tweeted that Kobe gave Jordan's brother a signed jersey and 2 pairs of shoes for his birthday. As for the officer, he's free on bond, awaiting trial, charged with murder. The Department of Justice also investigating this shooting.
Well, a warning this morning at 6:53 about the dangers of opioids. In Ohio, I should say, a police officer was sent to the hospital after he accidentally touched a dangerous drug while searching a suspect's car. The drug, which looked like powder, got on his shoulder. He wiped it off with his bare hand, and an hour later, he was found unconscious. Police say the drug he came across is 5 times stronger than heroin. The officer is recovering and doing okay. Well, a live look outside this morning. This is a nice view. A lot of clouds right now just blocking a little bit of the sun, but we're going to talk about the rain chances for this week. Erica Lopez joins us with a final look at our forecast.
Okay, a look at traffic drive times. 183 southbound, 45 to Mopac, 11-minute commute. 15 minutes, 45 to I-35 if you're coming in from Cedar Park on 183, muted to downtown. 34 minutes, 27 minutes, Round Rock to downtown I-35 southbound. Erica, how does weather shape up?
Well, quite cloudy as you head out the door this morning, but rain shower chances arrive tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning's commute, keep in mind you could have some sprinkles. Today it's just going to be muggy, breezy at times, a south wind anywhere from 10 to 20 miles an hour. So could be breezy for maybe your lunch plans or any afternoon outdoor activities.
All right, thanks for joining us.